Hello, this is the Ramblings of an Indisciplined Mind podcast for Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016. As of this recording, Sierra is still missing. So I'm actually on my way to the campus, to the college. And why, you ask? To pick up my diploma. The last step in getting the graduation process done. Picking that puppy up and then I can, display it or get it tattooed upon my body or whatever. At least look at it, take a picture of it maybe. So yeah, that should be fun. I actually forgot I was planning on doing that until I was like walking out of the building and oh yeah, I gotta swing by the college. So I gotta remind myself to do that. I don't really have a big topic to discuss today. I guess I'm just going to kind of do a real ramble. Just going to talk about whatever. I've got an ear that's bugging me, my left ear. It's funny because I haven't had a cold or an ear infection or anything really that I've noticed, but it's starting to fill up with fluid again, which is kind of annoying. I'm taking lots of Sudafed to try to see if I can get it to drain on its own. Otherwise, I'm probably going to have to go back to my ear, nose, throat guy and get him to put a couple more tubes in it like he did before, which is really more of an inconvenience than anything else. Not the end of the world. What else is going on? I made it all the way through the edits, my second round of edits for Wayward Time. I'm actually going back to the first 5 chapters just to see if there's any descriptive things I want to add there. And I've got to add dates and times to all of them. I'm doing that as I go, and I'll continue. I'm not going to redo the rest of the chapters as far as editing them, but I am going to put dates and times at the beginning of the chapters. I need to find out if there's a better way to do that within Scrivener, because what I've done is I've put it at so there are scene, each chapter is a folder, and within the folder you can have one or more scenes. And so at whatever the very first scene is, I'm putting the date and time for that chapter right there at the top. It doesn't format it quite right, and it's not really the end of the world. I could always take that and reformat it easily enough. I don't have that many chapters, but it just seems like there ought to be a better way to do that. Some way to put that on the chapter itself, like on that folder, because that's where I put like the chapter name. It seems like there ought to be a way to do that. So I played around with it a little bit this morning. I couldn't come up with something that I was happy with. So I need to see what there is as far as support. Maybe I can put something on the community forum for that, and see if there's a better way to do subtitles for headings. I don't know if you call it a chapter or subtitle. By the way, I believe we have found the new titles for the Borrowed Time series. So soon it won't be called the Borrowed Time series. It is a name that allows me to keep as a subtitle Borrowed Time, Stolen Time, Wayward Time, which I think will be good for continuity purposes. And that way, if people have heard about it before, it's not going to be like, oh, this is, I didn't realize this was that or whatever. But that we can keep that kind of in there. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I think I want to wait. I think I want to wait. I'm waiting. I'm not doing it today. Let's put it that way. Beyond that, we'll see. I might wait until I've got covers to reveal, because that's got to come up. But I really need to get done with this draft and turn it over to the wife for her editing queue. I know she's got at least one work in front of it, but I need to get it there because, to kind of paraphrase George R. R. Martin, September is coming. I can feel the coming of the Roundtable podcast recording. I can feel it coming, and I want it, and I need to get my stuff done. I was part way through my pitch, and I need to finish that. I've got things I need to nail down, and I need to get that to the point where I think, okay, this is what my pitch is going to be, and then start getting it ready. And I want to get going on that soon, like next week soon. So I really want to get this done. I want to get. So basically, really all I think I have to get done is I've got a couple notes to tackle. I've got the date and time thing, and I've got to do whatever I haven't mentioned. Date and time thing. Finish up these chapters, and I got a couple minor things. I got some things. I got to figure out a timeline between two characters, and things like that. So I want to get all that done this week and be done with it, and then I can move on to getting my pitch done. And there's some other things I need to do. I need to really ramp up finding what I'm going to do for cover art for the Borrowed Time series. I think because I'm going to have to redo the ebooks because they've all got Borrowed Time slapped all over them, so I'm going to have to put the new title in there and put the new covers in there. I'm thinking I actually might take, because Borrowed Time's got a problem, and that problem is that Ness doesn't show up until about the 6th or 7th chapter. We start off with Bertrand, and we watch Glenn run around and be nefarious. But it's because I was looking through it a couple times, and it just felt like it took a long time to get to Ness. So there's this one chapter with Ness that I might pull forward and put that first. I'm thinking about that. I'm not really planning on doing a wholesale editing pass through Borrowed Time and Stolen Time. I just don't really have the time for that, and I really want to get both of these reissued this year. Preferably no later than September, really. That would be my preference. So I don't really have the time to do a whole editing pass on that, and so I'm just pretty much going to let it stand. But I am thinking about doing that little bit of rearranging in Borrowed Time, because I just don't think it's right that if he's the main character that we don't see him until much later in the book. So I think we need to at least have him show his face once pretty early on. And that's really about all I'm thinking about today, I think. I guess I'll let that be that for today. I will be back tomorrow. I'll be talking to you then. So, be seeing you.